In this video, we'll discuss how to add inventory items to your inventory master list. If you have not purchased the inventory module, you can skip this video and move on to the next one. Let's go ahead and get started by clicking the next button. The first item we have is the inventory category. If you've set up categories for your inventory items, you can go ahead and select it via this dropdown. Go ahead and click Next. Here's the description of your inventory item. Something like exercise bands. And click Next. Here's the UPC code associated with the barcode located on this inventory item. TPS allows you to scan these items with USB-enabled barcode scanners that connect to your computer. If you will not be utilizing this feature, you can go ahead and leave this field blank. Here we have the CPT code or HCPCS code. Go ahead and enter in the correct CPT code associated with this inventory item. When determining whether to use a CPT code or a HCPCS code, simply use the most commonly accepted out of all your carriers who you bill out this inventory item to. Go ahead and click Next. Here we have the source location found in box 24B of a HCFA form, and the source type found in box 24C of the HCFA form. Click Next. Here we have the inventory location. This is for personal records within the office as to where the inventory item is actually located. For instance, something like exercise bands may be located on a particular shelf. You may also sell some fairly expensive items that you keep locked away where only certain personnel can access them, and you may want to put locked cabinet or safe or wherever you're keeping them. Perhaps you have items that need to be refrigerated, otherwise they would perish, and here you could put in something like refrigerator. Let's just put in shelf. Click Next. Here we have the service type. Depending on if you're billing electronically, you may need to select what type of inventory item this is a service of. Go ahead and click Next. Here we have the inventory code source dropdown. Again, depending on your billing format, you may need to select one of these. Otherwise, go ahead and leave it blank or unknown. Here we have the revenue codes for HIPAA institutional billing. A very long list. Click Next. The UPC code qualifier for your NDC codes or other purposes. Click Next. Here's your National Drug CD if required and where you can enter it. Click Next. Unit type, that is milligrams, grams, milliliters, or just plain unit. Click Next. The number of NDC units if required. Click Next. Unit sale price. This is what you would normally charge for the item. Let's go ahead and put in $10. Click Next. Here we have the rental frequency if the item will be returned at some point. We have a starting frequency of none, but we can go to weekly, monthly, or daily. Click Next. Here we have the primary vendor who supplies this item. You can set up vendors within the program through the wizard or by going to the vendor's master list and adding them in there. Currently we only have one vendor, so we'll just select them now and click Next. Here we have the vendor item code for this inventory item. This is the number that you would use when ordering the item from the vendor. Let's say 465A and click Next. Here you can select the manufacturer of the item. Go ahead and click Next. Here we have the manufacturer product code. This is the code associated with the item through the manufacturer. Go ahead and click Next. Here we have the minimum order quantity and or case lot size. Sometimes the vendor may limit you to ordering a minimum amount of a particular inventory item, and you can put that number here. Let's go ahead and say they want you to order at least 3 bands every time, and click Next. Here is the amount it costs to reorder the product. Let's go ahead and say $4. Click Next. Here we have the reorder level. This is how far down you want the stock to go to before you want to reorder more. Let's say this is a fairly popular item, so you never want to be caught without them. So you may want to say something like 10. That way, once the exercise bands reaches an amount of 10 within your office, you know it's time to reorder some more. Go ahead and click Next. Enter in the typical quantity ordered. Again, this is a fairly popular item, so let's go ahead and say we'll get 20. Click Next. TPS then automatically calculates your max stock level between the reorder level and the reorder quantity. Whenever you hit 10, it's time to reorder, and whenever you reorder, you get 20. Therefore, your max stock level will always be 30. Go ahead and click Next. Here's the amount manually counted when doing inventory counts. Click Next. Here's whether the inventory item applies to patient's deductibles. Typically, inventory items do not apply to deductibles, but if a particular item does, you can select that here. Whether or not an inventory item is deductible can be decided on a per item basis within the carrier policy, which will be gone over in a later video. If you're billing electronically under the ANSI X12 format and need to send a description within the 2400 loop, you could check this box here for this inventory item. Click Next. This will enable the item to be scanned within the barcode scanner mode. And here is the item number associated with the inventory item assigned automatically by the program. Click Next. Here we can review the services and inventory sort order. By clicking this button, a new window appears over here on the left. I can move exercise bands to the top if they were one of my more popular inventory items delivered. Eventually, you'll have a very large list of inventory and/or service items to go through, and it may be important that you put particular items or services at the top or at the bottom depending on the popularity of the service or item. By clicking this button that says Rearrange and Sort by Categories, we can rearrange the categories and sort by those instead of individual items. Let's say my exams and x-rays are very popular, and I don't need all categories, so I move it to the bottom, group services up one, and then save sort order to file. It'll ask if I want to confirm this, and I could click yes, and you can see that it has been changed accordingly. Once I'm finished, I hit the Save Sort Order button, and it saves my order for the next time I go to my services screen. Go ahead and click Next. We've now finished adding in an inventory item to the program. If you'd like to add more items, you can do so now, or click No to continue with the Setup Wizard.